Hey you guys, this is Suzette Denny, and I wanted to get back on today and do chapter 2 of my book, which is called Belief in Mindfulness. So what I want to talk about today is mindfulness. Mindfulness is to be aware of your thoughts, be aware of what you're thinking, because our brains work in a way that if you are thinking positive, then positive things come back. But if you're thinking negative, then negative things come to you. So a couple years ago, as I say in the book, 2 years ago, that my life was filled with anger, judgment, and complaining. And that's exactly what I was getting in my life. People that would judge me, and I would feel judged. There was complaining, and people around me, were just complaining like crazy. I was in tears most of the time, and anger, and there was so much anger in my life, with my family, with my husband, different stuff like that. So when I started to meditate, like I was talking about, and I started being aware of what I'm thinking and what I'm saying and what I'm praying for. So that's when I realized that things were starting to change. Now, when I started praying for, I didn't really know what to pray for, so I just prayed for peace. That's all I wanted. I just wanted peace in my life. It had been anger and complaining for years upon years. So, I just took one word and I said, oh my gosh, what would it be? And peace would be it. So I just prayed for peace, and I just kept praying and praying and meditating for this one thing, which was peace. And I received just that. Now, my life started to move and fall. Different people fell out of my life. I started losing jobs. And it went slowly. About 3 months, I started to lose relationships. People were acting differently. I was acting differently. I was all excited, and I was, happy to be feeling better. And I was telling everybody, but everybody was like, you're too happy. There's something going on here. Well, and because I was attracting in the happiness, attracting in the people that were still complaining and angry and stuff like that were leaving my life. Slowly but surely, they did leave. Because I was praying for peace, I was asking for peace, and it doesn't always look like, the greatest peace. It looks like things are falling away that you thought that brought you peace, but it didn't. I was a wreck. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm praying for peace, and now my husband left, and I'm praying for peace, and I lost my job, and I'm praying for peace, and this person's not talking to me anymore. And that looks like, oh my gosh, my whole life's falling apart, but actually on the other end of it was absolute peace. But I was being mindful of what I was talking about, what I wanted, and I meditated on peace, and I never stopped. Just like I said in the beginning, in the beginning about Florida, I never stopped believing it's Florida. I want to go to Florida. I'm going to Florida, and I would, take the steps to get there. I was like, I'm getting peace. No matter what, no matter who goes, stays, or whatever. I just had enough. Actually, I was having heart palpitations. Was in the hospital a couple times, and they were like, oh, it's menopause, it's old age. But ever since that I've got the peace in my life, since I've watched, over my thoughts, I don't have the heart palpitations, so I don't believe it's old age. Not saying it can't be, that's fine, but for me, I believe, because I got the peace in my life and the stress out, that's when, my heart started being better and I started feeling better. Now, when I was in Indiana, I didn't, walk as much and do as much as I do here, because there's a lot of time here that it's nice and sunny out, and, I can walk every day. Most of the time, I walk every day, unless I'm really busy. But most of the days, I walk every single morning, and sometimes evening too. So that helps to be active. A lot of the time, when I was going through, all that anger and complaining, I didn't want to exercise. I would just, when I would come home and get in the driveway, I would just be totally, exhausted, and just, I want to go to bed. Eat, go to bed. So, but what I'm trying to say at this point is the next chapter is mindfulness. So we have to think to ourselves. We have to be mindful of our thoughts. Seriously mindful. So we have to be, when something negative comes in, and you have to replace it. You just have to. And I still do this today. I have to replace it, because negative things still come back. Thoughts, and it seems like I catch them sooner now, to where, it used to be I catch them in a day or two, and I'd be going down this thing where I would just keep going and negative, and why is this happening? Then I thought, what? It's happening because I'm not being mindful of my thoughts and what I'm thinking and what I'm speaking out. I said I wanted peace, I wanted Florida, and that's what I got. And it doesn't always look like what you think it's actually never gonna look like what you think. So if you start praying for peace and people start walking out, then that's what you asked for. So that's what the universe, God, is trying to bring you, is peace. And if that person has to leave for you to get it, then let it be. Because at the end of the day, you have to have peace in your heart. You have to have peace in your mind. And for a long time, I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore, and I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be who I can be. And one of the things is thinking. It's not just to manifest stuff like material stuff, which you can. If you want to think about getting a car and a promotion and all that stuff, you can absolutely do that. But for me, I started at just peace. So, when you start getting negative thoughts in your mind, just stop yourself and say, is this even true? Because half the stuff's not true. Most of the stuff that we believe is other people telling us this stuff. Somebody could say they're having a bad day and they're saying something to you, and that's not even true for you. So you need to, you need to ask yourself this question: is that even about me? These people are probably having a problem today, and they're telling you about it, and then they're putting it out on you. And that's fine to talk with people and go through situations and work them out. But everybody is a reflection, like I'm a reflection of my dog, or I'm a reflection of my son, and he's a reflection of me, of my house, and that's a perfect example. My house where I used to live in Indiana was dark. I didn't even put the blinds up. It was just like I was a sad person there. And now I have my furniture's all, colorful, and when I open the blinds in the morning and just let the sunshine come in and go out for a walk, and it's just totally different. But I changed my perspective, I changed my mind, I changed my mindset. I was mindful of what I was thinking, because we can get into these really bad thoughts, and people can put us there. And then we have to even say, today I can get into argument with my son, and I'm like, I'm not going there. I'm not going there with you, so I'll go in here and, and I could keep it going. But I don't want to do that, because that's negative. And if it's something that's, most of the time we fight, it's not even anything really serious. It could be a cookie. You don't know. People fight over the ridiculous things. So unless it's something that is major and we need to discuss right this minute and we're yelling about it, then no. but you're never going to solve a problem in the same anger. So everybody needs to get away, think about what's going on, and look at the situation differently, which is all mindfulness. Everything is in your mind. It starts in your mind, and you have to be mindful. And you can just ask yourself questions. Is that true? I can get over people say, oh, my grandkids don't love me. Well, is that true? Absolutely not. My mom doesn't care about me because she didn't answer the phone. Is that true? No. It was me thinking that. Now, I don't think that now, but I have before. When I used to live in Indiana, I'd think, oh my God, she's not paying attention to me. Well, is that really true? No. She works, she has things to do, and we just have to ask ourselves. And that was poor, pitiful me back then. I was playing a victim. I don't do that anymore. I'm not a victim of anything. Everything is a reflection of myself. So if you're having a problem, you need to look at yourself. And then that's where you need to start asking your questions, get in your mind, think about what you're doing, what you're saying, because half the stuff is not even true. All right, you guys, I'm going to have to end it because my phone is dead. All right, love you guys. Bye.